But it is often believed that the great archaeological discoveries may already be a thing of the past. However, experts around the world continue to search for traces of ancient civilizations and their surviving remnants. In this process, more artifacts, both large and small, continue to be discovered each day. Help establish connections and clarify the contributions of the current civilization. Occasionally, archaeologists accidentally unearth treasures of such immense value that they are virtually priceless. Sometimes even they themselves find it hard to believe and feel ashamed. Here are some findings that might astonish you, even though chess has undergone thousands of years of openings. The Temple of the Covenant box, Icub, built from stone, is said to house a box rumored to contain priceless secrets and treasures. The reign of Thutmose is perhaps one of the most fascinating periods in ancient Egyptian history. However, information about this golden age is also extremely scarce. Many tombs were excavated and plundered long before our era, resulting in the permanent destruction of numerous traces of ancient civilizations. Over time, these structures gradually became buried or faded into obscurity. A prime example is Pharaoh Thutmose II, who is best known as the husband of Queen Hatshepsut, a famous female ruler of Egypt. These two likely co-ruled the ancient kingdom of Icub for an extended period. They are believed to have lived around the year 3500 BC. To this day, the tomb of this pharaoh has yet to be discovered. However, the discovery of a stone box during excavations at the Nin River may have brought us closer to solving this mystery. Inside the chest were typical burial artifacts from tombs of the same period, along with a smaller box inscribed with the name of this famous pharaoh. Therefore, the excavation team from the University of Warsaw may have found the first clue to locating the tomb. This could help shed light on a significant part of the complex history of the ancient Icub civilization. While searching for new fossils, two amateur researchers were utterly astonished to unexpectedly discover a gold-made object. Initially, this round object looked exactly like a golden cannonball. Therefore, the surprise at that moment wasn't too overwhelming. However, it was later discovered that it was an intricately polished stone, its surface gleaming with a golden hue thanks to a special chemical substance. However, the true secret was hidden within the orb's core. The moment the orb was split open, an ancient fossil was revealed. This discovery resembles an ammonite fossil, dating back nearly 185 million years. Fortunately, amateur researchers recorded the entire process of searching for and opening the sphere. This may spark interest from others who are lucky enough to find similar objects on the shores of the UK. The ancient dams in Israel are impressive engineering feats, demonstrating the high level of expertise and water resource management capabilities of early civilizations in the region. These structures hold not only technical significance but also immense historical and cultural value, helping to illuminate the life and development of societies at that time. This holy land has been inhabited since ancient times, long before the religious conflicts between Catholics, Muslims, and the rest of the world erupted. It is believed that the first inhabitants of this region appeared after the large-scale human migration from Africa. However, concrete evidence of the existence of these ancient peoples remains very limited. The situation may have changed thanks to a discovery involving several dams, found due to unique conditions along the coast of Israel. Due to exceptional weather conditions, these structures became clearly visible along the coastline for a period of time. Researchers believe these dikes were built to protect ancient residents from rising sea levels. And this event occurred 7,000 years ago. When the Ice Age ended, ancient settlements were severely threatened and flooding occurred frequently. Although the traces of these settlements have not yet been found, the shell-built dikes and ramparts became clearly visible for a certain period. Ancient Mesopotamian ritual sites, even during the era of ancient Persia, typically did not exclusively worship any single deity, with the exception of their own kings. And there were often many temples dedicated to different deities, similar to those in Mesopotamia or Greece. In the region of Mesopotamia, now part of Iraq, archaeologists have excavated an ancient shrine where people once worshipped the local god of war. The brawl took place in the ancient capital of the empire, which is believed to have once been the site of a Sumerian settlement. Within the fortress walls, a temple complex was discovered, likely dedicated to the worship of the war god. Among the various artifacts offered to this deity, a pit was also discovered. Experts believe that ritual matches were held here to honor the deity. For example, before launching a war, people often prayed to deities for blessings to gain support in their conquest. A significant portion of information about dinosaurs remains a mystery to researchers to this day. Therefore, every time fossils of a previously unknown species of giant dinosaur are discovered, it always becomes a sensational event. And this event becomes even more significant as it is the largest dinosaur species ever discovered by humans. In Argentina, scientists have unearthed the fossil of a titanosaur species. It is potentially the largest creature ever discovered on Earth. Based on the massive tail skeleton, it is estimated that this creature was approximately 40 meters long, 20 meters tall, and weighed nearly 70 tons, which is heavier than the combined weight of 14 African elephants. Fortunately, a significant portion of the 150 excavated skeletons remain largely intact. This will allow researchers to spend the coming years continuing to learn about this remarkable animal. Australian Aboriginal rock art is a unique cultural heritage that reflects the ancient spiritual life and beliefs of Indigenous communities. These works hold not only artistic value but also serve as precious historical records, preserving traditional stories and the profound connection between people and their land. Australian Aboriginal people are among the world's oldest cultural communities, and many of them continue to preserve and maintain their ancient traditional way of life. This Australian Aboriginal person holds many mysteries within, while still preserving ancient rituals and secrets related to the origins of their civilization. Among the Indigenous era relics, there is a unique form of rock engraving art that can now be accurately dated. This art form depicts a diverse array of human and animal figures, vividly recreating stories of Indigenous life from ancient times. With the help of insect nests near the rock paintings, it has been possible to determine their age. Some paintings have existed for up to 16,000 years, while others are also 12,000 years old. This is just a small piece of evidence showing that Aboriginal people lived in Australia and built a civilization very early on, a very long time ago. Tacalit Bay. The dense pathways of Ruatamela are one of the ancient strongholds of the Indigenous people, deeply imprinted with the marks of many different civilizations. Over the years, archaeologists here have continuously searched for clues about the indigenous peoples of South America, particularly the Maya and the Inca. Now, they had found not just a workshop within the vast compound. They also identified some previously indecipherable carvings on a stone seal statue. In the painting, a detail reveals that this is indeed the capital city of the illustrious kings. This is of great significance because it proves that a monarchical civilization existed and flourished here as early as 100 AD. However, Tacalit Bay still holds many mysteries, and it is hoped that some of them will be unraveled in the coming years. Calanis. The Callanish stones are ancient standing stones in Scotland, similar to the Stonehenge monument. This place appears to have once served as both an observatory and a place of worship for the earliest inhabitants of the area. Not only have sacred burial sites been uncovered in numerous excavations, the arrangement of the stone layers shows that the local inhabitants began exploring astronomy very early, around 2500 BC. The remarkable thing is that these rocks are located on the islands of Scotland. It is still not certain whether at that time, this place was still connected to the mainland or not, or whether a distinct Celtic people had instead formed in this region. Therefore, like the stones at Stonehenge, this primitive religious structure remains an enigma with many unanswered questions about the people who built it. The ancient Lama's Hand. Hadrian's Wall in England was built to protect the Roman territory from the barbarian tribes of Scotland. Along this artificial wall, numerous Lama army camps were established, and it was also the site of countless fierce battles. In a recent, lengthy excavation at the Roman fort of Vindolanda in Northumberland, it is believed that this 2.3 kilograms bronze hand was buried at the site of one of those battles as an object of good fortune. This could be a gift for a high-ranking Lama. This individual attempted to subdue the military forces in Scotland and advance further north. However, history later proved that the Romans never conquered Scotland. And finally, they too were expelled from England after their empire collapsed. Therefore, this artifact probably doesn't bring any good luck. The horse is carved on the tombstone of the Duchy of Trier. Currently, information about China's early formation remains very scarce. However, it is believed that the Duchy of Trier was a powerful king from a mighty dynasty in China around 500 BC. He is known as a brilliant general, and under his leadership, he unified a portion of the country's territory, bringing peace and prosperity to that land, at least for a period of time. Therefore, he was buried with the utmost reverence, even though it included the sacrifice of 600 horses. These horses were found in the tomb, neatly arranged, likely to serve the revered king in the afterlife. Along with the horses, people also buried dogs and pigs. In addition, many other valuable artifacts are gradually being unearthed through archaeological excavations. Through years of systematic work and the application of new technology, we have gradually unveiled perspectives on a distant past. The archaeologist can never know what awaits behind the door to the past. Sometimes, they are fascinating treasures, other times, they are ancient tombs or bog bodies concealing deeply mysterious stories. And sometimes, researchers even uncover things that are truly unbelievable. Here are 10 examples of such recent discoveries that have revolutionized and permanently reshaped our understanding of the dawn of history. Wetlands are ideal for preserving organic objects due to their high moisture content and oxygen-deprived soil conditions. Bog bodies are frequently found in an exceptionally well-preserved state, providing crucial insights into the lives of people in the distant past. In 2003, a body was discovered in a bog in County Offaly, Ireland, later known as the Grogan Man. This body is estimated to be over 2,000 years old. With a height of 1.8 meters, this man possessed an exceptionally unusual physique. Grogan's manicured fingernails and diet rich in meat and fat indicate he belonged to the upper class during an era that prized ostentatious appearances. The area surrounding the burial site was used by the monks of that era to perform rituals, which suggests that the Grogan Man was a tribal leader. He was stabbed to death with a sword, after which the cruel enemies severed his body at the pelvis. This is likely a sacrificial ritual dedicated to the gods. This 2,000-year-old ancient shoe, named Lama, after the valley where it was discovered. From 100 to 260 AD, the border region between the Lama and Tremania empires was known as the Limes. One of the best preserved fortresses is Chabot in Hesse. During the Lama period, a total of 2,600 soldiers and civilians lived there. Today, the fortress has been restored and recognized as a World Heritage Site. Among the excavated archaeological artifacts, the 2,000-year-old ancient shoe stands out the most, demonstrating the technical expertise and skilled craftsmanship of the Lama leatherworkers. The Romans are considered to have invented the modern enclosed shoe style and are also famous for their military footwear called caligae. The shoes on display at Chabot are impressive due to their exquisitely decorated uppers. The sole is attached to the shoe's body with sturdy nails. Ireland's boglands are a true archaeological treasure trove. In 2016, while excavating a layer of peat, often harvested for heating fuel, a worker named Jack Conway discovered an ancient artifact. He found a crock at a depth of 3.6 meters, emanating an unusually strong and immediately unidentifiable aroma. The object turned out to be a 10 kilograms lump of butter, dating back approximately 2,000 years. This is not the first time a large quantity of butter from the Iron Age has been discovered. 2,000 years ago, butter was a luxury product, even used as a means to pay taxes or tribute. It was also a common offering presented to the gods in sacrificial rituals. Ancient tribes often buried lumps of butter deep in the ground to perform rituals. After 2,000 years, studies of this butter show it is still edible. However, researchers describe it as quite crumbly and having a very pungent aroma. There are 800 tombs in Achab. Modern archaeology is increasingly applying high-tech methods to discover new and fascinating findings. Techniques such as computed tomography, CORT, scanning, ground-penetrating radar, and satellite imagery enable more targeted and precise excavations. In Achab, satellite image analysis has uncovered a massive ancient cemetery near the city of Lith. In total, 800 tombs were discovered, potentially holding the remains of over 4,000 individuals. Researchers believe this burial ground was used across multiple generations. Archaeologists are investigating the final resting place of dozens of residents from an ancient kingdom, dating back to approximately 2030 to 1650 BC, a period when the Varo Empire reached its zenith in both economic and cultural splendor. Unfortunately, modern grave robbers have been one step ahead of scientists, digging up tombs in search of valuable artifacts. However, the research team led by Professor Katarina Bridge from Boston University remains optimistic and hopes to gather valuable information about daily life in the medieval kingdom. This 2,000-year-old marble head is a testament to the fall of the Roman Empire, a time when its knowledge and culture gradually faded into oblivion. Buildings and artifacts gradually deteriorate, and soon enough, no one will recognize the value of what once existed. These ruins were used as a quarry for extracting high-quality construction materials. While exploring a medieval statue in downtown Rome, archaeologists discovered the marble head of Dionysus, the god symbolizing wine, joy, and ecstasy. This marble head, approximately 60 centimeters high, originally belonged to a statue sculpted in the 1st century BC. It was later repurposed into an ordinary building stone. The statue's eyes were originally made of glass or precious stones, but they were taken during the looting period. These white marble statues were originally gleaming and lustrous with vibrant colors, and were further adorned with precious jewelry. The god Dionysus, also known as Parchis, was not only the embodiment of fertility but also one of the most worshipped deities during the Kesa period. During the construction of a highway in Ostron, Czech Republic, workers accidentally discovered a wooden structure deep underground. The invited archaeologists determined that this wooden artifact has a base measuring 80 by 80 centimeters and a height of 25 centimeters. This is the frame of a well. The wood analysis results show that these trees were felled approximately 7,205 years ago. This makes the remainder of this well the oldest man-made wooden structure ever discovered. People in the Neolithic period used planks that were joined together by driving in wooden pegs. Demonstrating their masterful technical skill, the artisans used raw materials from hazel and oak trees harvested from the surrounding area itself. This rare structure reveals part of the lives of the first settlers from Europe during the Neolithic period. The period when humans began to abandon the nomadic lifestyle to settle permanently. What can Uran reveal to us? Global climate change is unveiling unexpected opportunities for archaeologists. In northern Iran, a prolonged drought has exposed part of a palace believed to belong to the ancient Mitanni kingdom. This kingdom once ruled over a large portion of Syria and Anatolia 3,400 years ago. The water level in a reservoir used for domestic purposes has dropped significantly in a short period, revealing the ruins of an ancient palace. With an area of over 2,000 square meters, this place offers a spacious and airy environment. Researchers have discovered murals with vibrant red and blue colors on brick walls. The walls of this palace still bear inscriptions that tell the story of the ancient city of Sachaku. The excavations are a race against time, as the relics could be submerged by the reservoir's water at any moment. After 3 weeks of work, the palace sank deep into the sea once more. However, this is considered one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in this region in decades. 3 ancient bathhouses. The advanced civilization of China and its hegemonic status during the medieval period. Beginning in 221 BC when the Qin dynasty unified the country. The previous century, obscured by the conflicts of a total of 16 states, was recorded in history as the Warring States period. Chinese archaeologists have unearthed a palace complex in Yueyang, the former capital of the Qin state, dating back to the Warring States period. In a residential complex, the discovery of 3 luxurious bathrooms is considered one of the most significant finds. The baths were paved with valuable ceramic tiles and bricks, featuring a modern system for running water and drainage. These are the oldest known baths in China, and researchers speculate that they were most likely used by the king of Qin himself. The mural depicts a scene of gladiators fighting. The Roman city of Pompeii was buried under volcanic ash in 79 AD when Mount Vesuvius erupted. At that time, this event was a horrific disaster, claiming the lives of tens of thousands of people. Yet for archaeology, it was a stroke of luck. Beneath the shroud of mist, the entire city and all its inhabitants were frozen, perfectly preserved as they were the moment the catastrophe struck. The charred remains of buildings, as well as of people and animals, are all perfectly preserved. During excavations in 2019, researchers discovered a nearly intact wall relief depicting a gladiator match. This stone carving depicts the final scene of a match, where the defeated and severely wounded gladiator is begging his opponent for mercy. As the victor awaits the judgment of the crowd of spectators, in a Roman-era entertainment arena. The fame of gladiators in that era could rival that of modern-day pop stars. Liu He is considered one of the most notoriously infamous emperors in the history of the Han Dynasty. He was ousted after only 27 days in power, due to violating the curfew rules and his incompetence in running the country. After that, he was exiled to the provinces and was granted the title of Marquis in the Hai-Hung region. 10 years later, he went down in history as an unpredictable spendthrift. And this description appears to have been verified. After receiving reports that grave robbers had discovered an ancient tomb, the Jiangxi provincial authorities immediately responded by sending an archaeological team to the site. A large burial site with a total area of 3,700 square meters, dating back to the Han Dynasty, was discovered by them. Although the tomb in the crypt had been looted, the researchers couldn't believe their eyes when they opened it. They stood before the tomb of the Shah dynasty emperor who reigned for a mere 27 days. Inside the tomb was an immense treasure, including up to 2 million bronze coins weighing 10 tons. Archaeologists have also discovered over 20,000 pieces of jewelry crafted from gold, bronze, jade, and amber. Additionally, 20 horses were buried alongside countless valuable grave goods. However, the most significant discovery was indeed the oldest copy of Confucius's works. For thousands of years, humans have relentlessly created astonishing structures that leave us in both admiration and awe today. However, archaeological findings have vividly reconstructed the image of people from that era. Yet countless things will forever remain a mystery, and we will never be able to fully understand our ancestors. Not only the future, but even our past is a mystery. Until we can travel back in time and converse with those who lived in the past. All that remains are traces of ancient cultures. Deep beneath the earth, countless artifacts from centuries past are still preserved. Provides professionals with insights into the lives of people in the past. Based on contemporary documents and historical records, researchers can reconstruct human history more accurately. However, archaeologists can never know when they will make the next great discovery. Therefore, the joy researchers feel when making even a small discovery is entirely understandable. In this video, we'll bring you 10 astonishing archaeological discoveries, findings that have left experts both amazed and delighted. Centuries ago, when soldiers went to war, they often had to face their enemies in direct combat. Where combat skills and strength are the decisive factors between life and death, determining who can survive and leave the battlefield. To avoid the enemy's spear and halberd attacks, ancient Greek warriors once donned incredibly impressive suits of armor. Not only for defense, it also serves to intimidate the opponent before a direct confrontation occurs. Off the coast of Haifa, Israel, archaeologists have unearthed an ancient Greek warrior's helmet in an exceptionally well-preserved condition. It was likely crafted between the 6th and 5th centuries BCE. The gilded layer and intricate decorative patterns on the helmet demonstrate the owner's esteemed military status. However, the identity of the person once protected by this hat remains a complete mystery. A hypothesis suggests that this hat may have once been part of a Greek Navy sailor's uniform. This also explains why it was discovered at the bottom of the sea. From the 6th to the 5th century BC, the ancient Greeks had a long-standing feud with the Persians, the individuals who were ruling the land that is now Israel at that time. Anglo-Saxon jewelry was not merely decorative but served as a powerful symbol of social status, wealth, and authority. These pieces were often exquisitely crafted from precious materials like gold, silver, and bronze, and meticulously inlaid with vibrant enamel, colorful glass, or even gemstones. Common motifs drew inspiration from the natural world, featuring animal forms, intricate geometric patterns, or skillfully interwoven abstract designs. These unique creations not only demonstrated masterful artistry but also reflected the core aesthetic values and cultural beliefs of early Anglo-Saxon society. Nowadays, high-end jewelry is becoming a favorite item among many people. Precious jewelry pieces such as rings, necklaces, and earrings not only enhance the wearer's beauty but also serve as symbols of their luxury and status. People in previous generations also used these splendid objects to adorn themselves and affirm their social status. Centuries ago, valuable objects often held far greater significance in daily life than they do today. In Anglo-Saxon society, both men and women wore intricately crafted and splendid pieces of jewelry. When a high-ranking community figure passes away, people often bury valuable items with the deceased for them to take along on their final journey to the afterlife. In 2003, researchers in the UK unearthed a very large Anglo-Saxon burial ground. Among them, they discovered extremely intricate hairpins, believed to date from approximately the 6th to the 7th century. The intricate details of these pieces of jewelry profoundly reflect the lifestyle and funerary culture of the Anglo-Saxons. The golden rhino is a national treasure of South Africa, discovered at the Mapungubwe archaeological site. This small statue dates back to approximately the 13th century and is exquisitely crafted from pure gold. It is not only an artistic masterpiece showcasing the advanced skill of the Mapungubwe civilization but also serves as evidence of extensive trade networks during that era. Today, this priceless artifact is preserved and displayed at the Mapungubwe Museum, located within the University of Pretoria. Although the Mabunkwe golden rhinoceros statue is quite small in size, its symbolism represents pure strength. The rhinoceros is one of the most powerful animals on the planet, while gold has always been a symbol of power and wealth. This golden rhinoceros originates from the Mabunkwe Kingdom, which was established in the 13th century in southern Africa. For a long time, that exquisite artifact was believed to be lost and irrecoverable. But by 1934, archaeologists had finally succeeded in recovering this precious artifact from an ancient royal tomb. The inhabitants of Mabunkwe were dynamic merchants, frequently trading with neighboring countries and holding a complete monopoly on the gold market at that time. Mysterious traces. The mystical beauty of the ocean always captivates us, leaving us endlessly fascinated and curious. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of California, researchers have discovered a mysterious, massive object with a diameter of over 4 kilometers. This unidentified object appears to be an artificial remnant. Some experts believe this strange discovery is likely the remains of an ancient defensive structure. The story becomes even stranger due to the fact that this circular structure also extends along an object with a length of up to approximately 66 kilometers. It appears this object is still moving forward, and it will likely take more time before the mystery of that colossal structure at the bottom of the ocean can be deciphered. Native Americans were the first inhabitants of the land now known as the United States, long before European explorers and settlers arrived. They possessed incredibly rich and diverse cultures, with hundreds of distinct languages, traditions, and ways of life that developed over thousands of years. Each tribe is a sovereign nation with its own unique culture and identity. Their history, heritage, and contributions form an integral part of the broader tapestry of American history and culture. For a long time, experts believed that humans first set foot on the American continent approximately 25,000 years ago. However, an impressive discovery of stone tools near the major city of San Diego has forced us to reconsider and completely rewrite human history. In 1992, experts successfully excavated the remains of a mammoth, along with several stone tools, from the ground. However, due to technical limitations at the time, experts were unable to accurately date this discovery. Thanks to the application of modern methods, these relics have been re-examined with truly surprising results. Using the uranium-thorium dating method, researchers have determined the age of this discovery to be approximately 130,000 years. Because this ancient mammoth ivory bears distinctive marks, it is highly likely they were formed through the impact of weapons and tools. From the dating of these animal bone samples, we can draw direct conclusions about human history. Therefore, our ancestors set foot in the Americas 100,000 years earlier than previously thought. We modern humans, also known as Homo sapiens, are essentially an animal species. Wise human, representing a species of the genus Homo and formally classified among the great apes. Africa has long been regarded as the cradle of humanity, as the prevailing expert consensus holds that it is the place where the first humans emerged and evolved. Therefore, for decades, experts have tirelessly searched across various regions in Africa with the hope. The discovery of additional new fossils has provided further information about the evolution of modern humans. In Morocco, scientists have finally made a major discovery. In a cave, a human skull dating back approximately 300,000 years was discovered. This is the oldest known remains of a Homo sapiens. Before experts made this great discovery, the scientific community believed that Homo sapiens appeared no earlier than 200,000 years ago. The oldest stone tools ever found outside of Africa. Upright man. Representatives of this species are still regarded as pioneers in the field of toolmaking. They were also the first humans known to walk upright on 2 legs. In China, archaeologists have unearthed an incredibly impressive collection of stone tools believed to belong to Homo erectus. This assemblage includes nearly 100 artifacts and is estimated to have been crafted between 1.3 and 2.1 million years ago. Previously, scientists believed that humanity's ancient ancestors left Africa much later than recent discoveries suggest. These ancient tools found outside Africa are proof of that. New evidence suggests that Homo erectus left their ancestral homeland 250,000 years earlier than previously thought. A monumental megalithic structure dating back approximately 4,000 years, similar to Britain's Stonehenge, has been discovered by archaeologists near the Dutch town of Tiel. During a multi-year excavation, researchers uncovered a burial site containing numerous graves and large stones arranged to mark the position of the sunrise and sunset on the solstice days. This is the first time such a site has been discovered in the Netherlands. England's Stonehenge is the subject of many legends. People have always wondered how humans from 4,000 years ago could have moved multi-ton stones across vast distances and then erected them into a perfectly symmetrical and deeply impressive structure. Despite frequently confronting the mysteries and legends surrounding Stonehenge, we often overlook one fact: this magnificent structure is not actually unique. The Netherlands also boasts equally impressive prehistoric structures, known as dolmens or commonly referred to as stone graves. These are ancient collective tombs, built from large, unworked stone blocks, often known as megaliths. The stone tombs in the Netherlands are approximately 5,000 years old, meaning they are even more ancient than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. Individual stones weigh up to 20,000 kilograms and originate from distant lands. Unable to explain how these structures were built, people speculated that these massive megalithic constructions must be the work of mysterious giants. The Benben stone is a pyramid-shaped rock with profound symbolic significance in ancient Egyptian mythology. Egyptians believed the Benben was the primordial mound that first emerged from the chaotic waters of Nun, giving birth to the world. This sacred stone was closely associated with the creator god Atum and was considered the landing site where he descended to create the universe. Later, the Benben became the prototype for the apexes of obelisks and pyramids, symbolizing creation, life, and rebirth. In Egyptian mythology, the Benben stone holds an exceptionally unique significance, unparalleled by any other. According to legend, the pyramidal structure represents a replica of the primordial hill, where the Egyptian god Atum first emerged into the world. The ancient Egyptians believed that the Benben stone originated from the world of the gods. Some experts believe this hypothesis could be correct, albeit in a slightly different way than the ancient Egyptians had envisioned. This rock might be a fragment of a meteorite that once fell and collided with the Earth's surface. Over the centuries, the Egyptians created countless spiritual objects, all modeled after the shape of the Benben stone. Even the magnificent pyramids were modeled after the Benben. The Atlantis fortress is a majestic and mysterious structure, believed to lie deep beneath the ocean floor. It is often depicted as an impregnable stronghold with towering walls and watchtowers, constructed from peculiar materials not of this modern world. This fortress is intrinsically linked to the legend of the mythical continent of Atlantis, an advanced civilization that was destroyed and sank into the depths of the sea. Its existence remains an enigma to this day, fueling human curiosity and imagination about a distant and mysterious past. Atlantis Fortress was constructed between 1942 and 1944 with the purpose of protecting the Tam-Ru Dike from the threat of invasion from the sea. The defensive system stretches over 2,600 kilometers along the northern coast, the English Channel, and the Atlantic Ocean. Initially, Hitler ordered the construction of this defensive system to stretch 5,000 kilometers across the occupied countries. Many residents from the annexed territories were forced into labor to build the Fortress of Atlantis. Subsequently, they were forced to perform arduous labor under extremely harsh conditions. Even in modern times, one can still encounter many horse-tooth-shaped defensive structures, pontoons, of the Atlantis defense system on the beaches of the Netherlands, Belgium, France, and Denmark. In practice, many structures in the Netherlands are currently being meticulously restored and renovated to return them to their original condition. Today, the world